Well, hopefully sometime next week, I'll be seeing Top Gun Maverick one more time at the IMAX, along with my buddies, so I'm going to try and get those tickets sorted out as soon as possible. But a story that I saw yesterday, and I wanted to talk about it quickly with you today, because Top Gun Maverick's director explains how he convinced Tom Cruise to return to the role of Pete Maverick Mitchell. I had 30 minutes to pitch this film. When I got there, I found Tom really didn't want to make another Top Gun. Now, this director here on the right is Joseph Kosinski, and obviously we know that is Tom. I think this picture here is going to be the basis of a coffee table book that's going to be coming out when the film is released on Blu-ray and other forms of physical media. I reckon so. So this is a really cool thing to talk about. Now, when they made the first Top Gun in 1986, there was always talk about they might make a sequel, but back then, I guess they didn't know really how to pursue that, what it would be like. Tony Scott would have been alive at that point and he could have returned. And to be fair, there is nothing else that they could have done. So given that we're in 2022 and the whole landscape of movies is saturated by superhero films that frankly I'm bored shitless off now, it's kind of great to see a film like Top Gun Maverick is just out there and is telling people you can still go to the cinema and you can still watch a great old-fashioned movie. So 36 years ago, Top Gun made moviegoers feel a small fraction of the thrill that comes with being a fighter pilot, in part thanks to Kenny Loggins' anthem, Danger Zone, which is true, it did, absolutely. But and I'll tell you what, that soundtrack for Top Gun, that is a great soundtrack. You got to check it out. Like I said, Cheap Trick, Mighty Wings, Miami Sound Machine, some really good tunes on there that evoke summertime for me, the hot summer nights. That was also a compilation album of great rock tracks, by the way. So Tron Legacy. What is it with me and my words today? I can't get my words out. So Tron Legacy. So Joseph Kosinski directed Tron Legacy and Oblivion, and he's got an accomplished record of making really cool films. So yeah, if you're looking at Tron Legacy, I like that film. People have problems with it, but I thought it was great. Now, in a call with Polygon, Kosinski dove into the way Top Gun Maverick makes viewers feel like they're in those jets, how he convinced Tom Cruise to star, and how the right villain for a Top Gun movie might just be nobody. That's right, because I actually heard on a really good video that there isn't a villain. The villain is basically someone you know is about to threaten the rest of the world, but it's really the fear is about going up against something you're not sure what you're going to expect. It is set in Russia, but obviously not literally Russia, but the location they use, you know it's Russia. Something happens in the third act anyway that you know straight away this is a Russian ally they've got to take out. So I guess this film ain't going to be seeing a release in Russia at any point soon. Okay, Joseph Kosinski says it was specifically designed to be a faceless, nameless enemy, just like the first film. You know, this is a movie about friendship and sacrifice and teamwork and competition, just like the first film. It's not a movie about geopolitics. We didn't want it to be, so we designed it that way. The jets are fictional, they're faceless enemies. The mission itself is about keeping the world safe. See, I told ya. Now, was everybody on board for Maverick from the start? So I read the script, I had some ideas, and Jerry Bruckheimer liked those ideas. He said, you know what, you gotta go pitch this to Tom directly. So we flew to Paris where Tom was shooting Mission Impossible. I think it was Mission Impossible Fallout, or maybe the latest one. We got about a half an hour of his time between setups. And I basically had 30 minutes to pitch this film, which when you think about it, is more generous than the 5 or 10 minutes pitch that you normally had to do back in the old school days of Hollywood. Now, Kosinski said he didn't realize that when they were flying over, he was going to have to pitch this pitch to Tom Cruise. But I found that Tom really didn't want to make another Top Gun. It's one of those moments as a director, you have one on every film where you're on the spot to make a case for why this movie should be made. I had 30 minutes to do it. At the end of the pitch, he picked up the phone, probably like Les Gross from Tropic Thunder, Les Grossman that is. He called the head of Paramount Pictures and said, "We're making another Top Gun." It's pretty impressive to see the power of a real movie star in that moment. Now, people like John Campea will say to you, the movie star is never bigger than the film studio. Well, John Campea and everybody else, if you've been clued up on Tom Cruise's career like I was the minute he set foot on the big screen, I knew that he always had this amazing relationship with Paramount Pictures, Paula Wagner. Back in the 90s, he wanted to make an Iron Man movie, and of course the rights to make that film would have been there out in the open. Marvel Comics was going through a good phase at that point, but obviously things will get worse than them much later on. Now, when you see Tom Cruise's track record, Interview with the Vampire, The Firm, Born on the 4th of July, all these great films he made, and Jerry Maguire, you know, the guy has got an impeccable track record. Has every film that he's released has been perfect? No. Vanilla Sky, which reunited him with Cameron Crowe, was a failure, even though there's some good parts about the film. But, you know, the fact that he's got this much influence, this much sway, this much swagger, I think Tom Cruise is like that silent observer who sits in the corner and just kind of scans the environment and just knows what the narrative is. I'm betting you Tom does not like the woke narrative. He'll never say it, but you can kind of tell from the kind of movies he makes that he just wants to give people a good time at the cinema. You've worked your hard-earned bucks to get the best seat in the house to sit down, and you want to enjoy something from start to finish. And I think Tom Cruise, as everybody's been telling me in my comments, is the last great movie star that we have today. It's true. I mean, Bradley Cooper, Chris Pratt, they're likable actors, but they don't have the ooze, the film star quality that Tom Cruise with the ooze has. So if you enjoyed this quick video today, folks, make sure you hit the like button below. Make sure you slap that subscribe button like it's J.K. Simmons's bald, beautiful head. And on that one, I will see you, if you are me, on my next video.